Thank you very much indeed. A big question here is, does the goal glut continue? 18 goals so far in 3 quarterfinals. It's pretty sensational stuff at the Copa America as we listen to the national anthems. The Argentinians with all their big guns back tonight, with the exception of Hernan Crespo, who is out for the rest of the tournament with a thigh injury. No Carlos Tevez, seemingly on his way to Manchester United. He's on the bench, and Pablo Aimar as well, despite his bright displays when he has been used. He is also among the substitutes tonight. But as you'll have gathered by now, Argentina have a star-studded look about them, and of course are the tournament favourites, yes, even ahead of Brazil, despite their 6-goal performance in their quarter-final last night. This is the last quarter-final. Just a shot of Lionel Messi going through the picture there, criminally underused in most people's eyes at the World Cup last summer, when a lot of people felt Argentina should have won that tournament had they got things right. They didn't. They went out in a penalty shootout, as you know, against the host nation, Germany. They've come here intending to win this tournament, and so far all their performances have rather underlined that point. Peru are up against it. This is a country who haven't qualified for the World Cup finals since 1982. A powerhouse in days gone by, but not recently. You have to go back to the legendary figure of Teofilio Cubillas. Scotland will remember him. Craig Brown winces as I say it.
He does indeed, yes, I do remember him very well. But you know, what's more interesting to me is the fact that the substitutes who come on for Argentina and who created the goal for Mascherano's goal, Messi, are both starting tonight. And you're quite right, Ian, it's the strongest Argentinian side possible, with the exception of Crespo, of course. But Peru are up against it, but they've performed nobly, and I think they'll give a good account of themselves.
The Peruvians, in fact, were 6 minutes away from being eliminated the other night against Bolivia. But Claudio Pizarro, who'll be wearing the blue of Chelsea next season, scored 2 headers in that game, one of them in the 84th minute. Peru would have been bottom of the group but for that goal. And this game with shades of well, let's say there were murmurings about it, a game at the 1978 World Cup. Argentina 6, Peru 0, which just happened to be the exact result Argentina needed at the time. But least said about that one, I think, soonest mended. It was a long time ago now.
Yeah, this is a strange sight. The net being inspected just on the kickoff. Usually that's done well in advance of the action, but there seems to be a problem, or there apparently was a problem, but that's resolved, and we're ready for the kickoff.
Brazilian referee tonight, Carlos Simon, who's refereed at the last 2 World Cup finals, including the England-Sweden game in Japan in 2002. Big occasion feel about this in sugarcane country at Barquisimeto. As usual, the wait for all the various TV stations around the globe to synchronize watches, as it were. There's the revitalized Juan Sebastian Veron, back after 4 years out of the Argentine side just recently, now with Estudiantes in Argentina. Now ready to go, and both sides in their traditional kit. The Peruvians with that distinctive red band across their white jerseys, and of course the blue and white stripes of Argentina. And Veron getting an early touch for them. They've been passing the ball around so beautifully in this tournament, as Cambiaso Torrecalme, who of course pulls all the strings. Wonder if we'll ever see him in the English Premier League sometime. Possible.
Yeah, I think he'd be a major asset to the Premier League. He's a wonderful player, the expert at the reverse pass, and I watched him a lot with Villarreal, particularly against the Glasgow Rangers when he was absolutely outstanding this season. He certainly is the playmaker just off the front usually.
Now Argentina want a free kick here around the edge of the box, and there's a booking straight away for Acasiete, the Peruvian defender, for his first challenge of the night. Referee's not mucking about here.
No, and that thoroughly deserved a booking. Came in heavily from behind. It could have been a sore blow on the Achilles tendon there if contact was made, and the referee, I think, absolutely correct in awarding a yellow card.
Riquelme lines it up, and that spells danger. Are the Argentinians going to move into an early lead here? Of course, they're massive favourites for this quarter-final.
Yeah, this is a dangerous position. Riquelme, terrific at the free kicks, and he can bend it round and over the wall, up and over quickly too. He's excellent at that.
Riquelme has already scored twice in the tournament against Colombia. Argentina with 9 goals already in the Copa America. And this one, in the end, was harmless enough for the Peruvians.
Well, I said up and over, but you've got to get up and down quickly from that range, but that one sailed high over the bar, most unlike Riquelme. A jumping wall, I noticed, Ian, and some coaches prefer it to jump, others don't. The goalkeepers feel that if it jumps, they've got 3 things to consider: over, round and under.
Yeah, we've seen that before as well, under.
Yeah, under a threat, but I think it should be a save if it goes under. And I must say, personally, I like a jumping wall, and it started with Arrigo Sacchi way back years ago, the first man to use it.
Well, it seemed to work there for Peru anyway. Not that Riquelme's shot was all that accurate, as it turned out. Not that time. Maybe he'll get the radar right next time around. Zanetti, who's been restored to the colours. He missed the World Cup, not selected by Pekerman. Surprisingly, he's got over 100 caps to his name.
Yeah, and Zanetti's returned to the right-back position. He was playing on the left side when Heinze wasn't on in the previous match, but back to full strength with Zanetti.
Mistake by Milito there. And, well, there was a threat from the Peruvians there, and it was Guerrero who blasted it over the bar.
Yeah, that was a shocking mistake. Guerrero perhaps could have got into the box round the last defender there, but he elected to shoot from distance just outside the box, and he skied it over the top.
Guerrero was a bit of a sensation when he first broke through at Bayern Munich. Just gone a little flat for him since then. He's with Hamburg now. Galicchio. They're going to have to work hard here, Peru, for anything they get from this game. But they've been making confident noises, as you'd expect, from the camp in the press conferences ahead of the game. They feel that they can somehow tame Argentina against all odds.
Well, it would be against the odds because, you know, when you look at the quality on both sides, quite clearly the major players are playing for Argentina, and if you compare the respective wage bills or salaries of the players, there should be no question about the result.
Of course, some of the charm of football is it doesn't always work out quite that way. Both of the Milito brothers playing, one at the back, one up front. This is Heinze into Veron. Some of Argentina's football has been a joy to watch. bright enough start here by Peru. Guerrero trying to find Pizarro. And now he's on his way to Chelsea for the new season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see him, but both strikers work well together. In the match I've seen previously, we talk about twin striker play, and they have it to perfection because their understanding is excellent, their movement is very good, and they combine well. So it'll be a major test against the excellence of the Argentinian defence.
Sweet passing football. Riquelme off the outside of the boot. That time not quite so accurate as it turned out. These two sides have met in recent Copa Americas at this stage, with Peru winning in 1997 and Argentina in 2004.
Good use of the advantage rule there. Cambiasso was clearly impeded, but the referee right up with the play allowed the smooth passing of Argentina to continue.
Messi with his first involvement. Argentina just rather haunted by the fact that they haven't won a major tournament since the 1993 Copa America, which is a surprise, isn't it?
It is indeed, with the calibre of player they have. That's a major surprise, but this could be another Copa America victory for them if they maintain the quality that we've seen so far in the tournament. In the qualifying stages they were excellent. Full points and a good number of goals, 9 goals, and conceded only 3.
Riquelme, so strong on the ball. Remember, they put together that 26-pass move at the World Cup, that glorious goal by Cambiasso against Serbia and Montenegro. Zanetti raiding down the right-hand side as he likes to do.
Yeah, he's looking for the throw in, I think with justification, but the assistant referee right on the spot has elected to give the throw to Peru. Yeah, I think Zanetti had a case there. But you talked about 26 passes. The first goal they scored in this tournament came after 20 passes in.
Yeah, I've forgotten that. You're quite right. They might do something similar, might they, tonight?
Oh, it's a delight to watch them. You know, the ball is bounced from player to player, and you know, every player made contact with the ball on that occasion, so it's terrific. And it's the minimum of contact, 1 and 2 touch play to perfection.
No breakthrough yet, but here's a free kick, which Varane is going to curl towards the back post, and it's headed behind in the end. Milito coming up from the back. Alfio Basile, the Argentine coach, now 64, twice winner of the Copa America before as a coach in 91 and 93, and he took Argentina to the 1994 World Cup, where they were hit with all that kerfuffle around Maradona and drug tests.
Yeah, I saw some of the play there. In fact, I saw them play in Boston, and Maradona was very, very prominent and much in the news, as you say.
But this team is probably better than that one, isn't it?
I think so, yeah, on paper, definitely. Oh, without doubt. You know, when you see a team that you don't start thing without Tevez, for example, it's terrific to see that. And the young lad Messi, absolutely superb up front. And there's not a stronger midfield in world football, I'm sure. Veron, Riquelme, Mascherano, Cambiasso. Fantastic.
Mascherano, who wasn't good enough to get a game with West Ham United, but there you go.
Well, wonderful goal, the only goal in the last match. He passed it in from the edge of the box, and it was created by Messi. They both come on as substitutes. That's what you call impact substitutions from the manager.
Vilches' run forward from the back was easily blocked. Just how do the Peruvians go about this, Craig?
Well, I think they've just got to be patient. The longer they go without, they've gone 10 minutes so far, and you know, Argentina haven't had a clear-cut chance. The longer it goes, the more frustrated the favourites will become, and the more encouraged Peru will become. They've started, you know, very, very sensibly.
Here's Pizarro on the optimistic side.
I think so. He scored 13 goals, I think, for his country so far, but that didn't look like a 14th on that occasion.
Your stats are good, Craig. 13 goals it is, 48 caps, 49 tonight. Chelsea fans might like to know he scored 8 goals in the Bundesliga for Bayern Munich last season, 8 in 33 appearances. Of course, they're rebuilding. Got Luca Toni, haven't they? Miroslav Klose, I should say, Frank Ribery. Here's Messi trying to come out with something here for Argentina. Argentina playing with a swagger, really.
Yeah, they are. There's 5 players. This is the 6th one. Back again, 7th pass.
Ansay playing it in, away by Cassiete, who's already picked up a yellow card in the first minute. Here's Riquelme. Very misunderstanding, this time with Ansay of Manchester United. Cambiasso helps it forward. Riquelme once again. Zanetti. Tenacious defending from Peru, but they'll need a lot of it. Messi. He could take them all on, of course. They want the free kick there, they're not going to get it.
Well, I mean, you're asking how do they go about it? How do the Peruvians go about it? We saw there a perfect example. As many men behind the ball as possible. Because Argentina, because of the deliberate interpassing, it gives the opposition time to get back. But they're still capable, particularly with Messi and Riquelme releasing the final pass, they're still capable of threading it through. But I noticed that all the white shirts with the red diagonal, they were all back behind the ball on that occasion.
Here he is again, Riquelme. Messi, now Veron, and Cambiasso. Again, it's already probably about a dozen passes.
Yeah, Veron very mobile there. He's moved from his starting position on the right side away, found himself wide on the left, so that's a feature of the play of Argentina, the interchanging in midfield. They've got such quality, they can understand each other to perfection. They've played together so often. The interchanging is excellent.
Zanetti once again. Both he and Ayala with 100 plus caps. Cambiasso beautifully judged. Riquelme looks up, sees what might be on in the end. Seemed to try to take on the goalkeeper on his near post.
Yeah, you're right. I think he tried to sneak it in at the near post there, although the preferred option, I think, across the face of the goal. But that didn't trouble Burton there in goal.
The Peruvians retain parity so far, anyway. Can they engineer a chance, I wonder, for Claudio Pizarro or Guerrero up front? There's no Jefferson Farr fan, by the way. He's got an ankle injury which would rule him out of the rest of the tournament should Peru go that far.
Well, that's a major loss to them, because his experience in Europe with PSV is most worthwhile, and they would have liked him just to play tucked in behind the front two and to create the supply.
Too much of Diego Milito, who's been preferred to Carlos Tevez here so far. He's more the target man type, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yeah, the different types.
Ayala pleads with the referee, but he's going to get a yellow card.
Yeah, yellow card for the Valencia man. I think it was a deserved one. So we've got two, one for each side so far in the game. Has only played 15 minutes, so if the referee continues to give yellow cards for offences like that, there could be quite a number this evening.
And Ayala was sent off when these two sides met in the quarter-final in 2004. He's already on a yellow tonight.
It's an early yellow, and that's the problem.
Yep, another 75 minutes. Looks like Marino's got to take it. Now then, the break could be on if Argentina are quick enough here. If they can get players forward fast enough. It was played into Lionel Messi, but again, Peruvians working very, very hard. Galicchio going on the right side.
Yes, they've got a nice assurance about their play too. I think the fact that they qualified has given them a bit of confidence. And it's okay, they're in their own half, but it's man-to-man with assurance and comfortable possession at the moment.
Not quite sure what you're going to get from Peru. They had a great 3-0 win against Uruguay in their first match. Then they lost to the host Venezuela and scrambled through with the 2-2 draw against Bolivia. Here's Pizarro. Messi, such an exciting player. I suppose as a coach, Craig, some coaches might think it might be difficult to have Tevez and Messi in the same outfit. A bit too much of a luxury. Scotland wouldn't have minded, would they?
I don't think anyone would mind having both of them. But they are somehow, you're right.
And here is Messi. It was a good block. He still hit the angle of post and bar and bounced out. Messi very nearly there with the breakthrough for Argentina.
Absolutely wonderful play by Messi. You know, his quick feet and trickery, tremendous. And the shot was blocked, but it still managed to spin up onto the post, high up in the post there. And it was a let-off for Peru.
Great bit of work by Cassiete to get any kind of block in on that. One of the goalkeepers got a wry smile.
Yeah, Cassiete did exceptionally well, and he got the leg in, and it just took the power out of the shot. I think had it been a straight shot, it would have been saved. So the deflection perhaps could have deflected into the net, but luckily for Peru, hit the top of the post.
Maybe somebody up there likes Peru. They do so far anyway. They need somebody down here as well.
Yeah, I think they need someone on the pitch. But you were talking about Tevez and Messi. You know what wonderful talent these guys have.
Here is Messi again. Oh, feints and swerves and speed and trickery.
Yeah, he's got it all, and they're both powerful. They both strike the ball exceptionally well. Small guys, but there's great power in their legs, and they can, the minimum of backlift they can shoot.
Here he is again. Wonderful close control. Look at this. Oh, it was almost a sensational goal from Messi. He nearly beat them all. Veron plays it in this time.
Oh, what can we say about that? That was just superb, and in fact we're fighting to touch him. Just the slightest touch and a penalty, but he got it onto his right foot. Not as better than but again it was well blocked. They're throwing their bodies in front of the ball, the Peruvians, and fine block there again.
It was Villamarin who got the block in. Plays for the Cienciano club in Peru, who have contributed more than any other to this Peruvian squad for the Copa America. But that really was something to behold, wasn't it?
Oh,
from Lionel Messi.
Tremendous.
You can hear the Argentina fans fully expecting to see their side lift this trophy. Is it all going to culminate in an Argentina-Brazil final, we wonder? Riquelme here with the free kick, of course. And just about scrambled away. Only needed a touch from one of the Argentine players closing in on that.
It was a great delivery from Riquelme, right on top of the goal. You know, you just wonder, had Crespo been there, what would have happened? He's the man for that kind of ball into the box.
Just about in the nick of time. Peru scrambled that one away. You're right, it was a lovely delivery, wasn't it, from Riquelme? Goalkeeper's got an injury as well now. Dutron, who plays for Universidad. Peru.
Dutron looks as if he has a problem with that right knee. And the spray's going on to anaesthetise it temporarily anyway.
It's not like he's going to have a quiet night either, is it?
He's going to be the busier keeper, I think that's safe to say.
Goalkeeper has gone from being number 3 at his club to number 1 for his country. Peru have got to the virtual halfway point of the first half without conceding.
Yeah, they've done well. That's a quarter of the game gone. Of course, Argentina have hit the woodwork, but quarter of the game gone, they must be encouraged by that. And it is a quarter because there's no extra time should we have a draw.
Bounces around dangerously. Veron is in there, cutting it back, and that's going to be a free kick. High boot there.
Yeah, the boot was high. The attempted scissors kick there, clearly endangering the opponent, and the referee quite correctly gave the award against Milito.
It's Diego and Gabriel Milito, the defender, both in the side tonight for Argentina. Often been linked with Liverpool in the past, Gabriel Milito. Keep reading about that, but it never happens.
Well, you never know, it could happen. I think if he's as successful as his colleague there, Mascherano, they'll be quite pleased.
Here is Mascherano, right on cue. He's playing in that holding role. I know Diego Maradona raved about him when he first came into the Argentina side.
Yeah, a lovely quick pass out there to Zanetti. Passing the rate of the pass, the accuracy too, excellent.
Here he is again, the danger man, Messi. Mind you, there are 1 or 2 others out there. Basilar. Veron's got it back again. Player who didn't come off in the Premiership. Either Manchester United or Chelsea, in truth, seemed to lose his form, but he's back now where he wants to be, playing for his country. Galicchio's run forward from the back. Cambiasso going down.
Yeah, good turn of pace there from Galicchio.
Zanetti again. Messi. Cambiasso, no, not quite that time. Milito was the target for it. They do miss Crespo up there, don't they, to get on the end of things?
I think so, yes. He's the man for the cross ball, because he was in where Rangers fear to tread, in with the head. Doesn't worry about flying boots from the defenders. He's brave, and he attacks the ball aggressively. But we did see Messi there again from the right-hand side. This is quite fashionable nowadays. The left-footed player on the right and the right-footed player on the left. usually think it's because they haven't the pace to go down the outside, but I think Messi would have the pace to go down the outside, but he's very, very dangerous coming in from the right onto his left foot.
Mascherano. Very, very patient Argentina, with the confidence and belief to almost know that things will open up for them if they keep on probing and passing and working Peruvians' legs.
Yeah, we haven't counted, but we're certainly in double figures in terms of the number of passes in this move.
We'll get it back. Lara, putting it on to Vilches on this side. It's so hard to get the ball back again, though, Lionel Messi.
Yeah, you do get players, you know, the big time guys who work well with the ball, but they're not so impressive when the opposition have it. But Messi works hard and tracks back, and for that you give him great credit.
Free kick here to Argentina.
Yeah, it was a wild tackle from behind.
No yellow for that one. Maybe the referee felt he had to make an early statement with that booking to Cassiete. There wasn't much doubt about it, really. Trying to make himself heard above the din, which is some achievement. It's going to be Riquelme again. Last delivery was causing panic. The Peruvian head goalkeeper nice and composed. Buffon grabs it out of the air.
Yeah, that was well defended. Great number of Peruvian shots back in the box. In fact, all back to defend that free kick. They left no one up front because the priority being defend the free kick.
Here's De La Haza. Basalar sitting a bit deeper in that midfield for Peru. Delicchio trying to get forward when he can down that right-hand side, which isn't that often in truth.
No, but on one occasion when he really got away, he proved his worth because he looked to be jet propelled down that side. Really great pace. But it's very risky to vacate that wide right position and leave space down the left to be exploited by Argentina.
Sloppy won that by Veron. Argentina, of course, who did reach the final of the last Copa America, playing Brazil. Will we see a repeat of that one? That's where the smart money would be. But, if you've been with us all night, you'll have seen Mexico rattle in 6 goals earlier on, and they would be Argentina's opponents in the semi if the form book is to be obeyed here, which it might not be.
You know, sorry I beg your pardon, the way things are going, if Peru manage to sneak a goal, it could be quite interesting. They certainly don't look like it, I've got to admit, but you never know, as you say, what can happen in this game of football.
Sloppy ball in midfield. Allowed Argentina to get back in possession. Slightly theatrical fall by Riquelme, it should be said, but it's going to mean a yellow card here for De La Haza, the midfield player.
Yeah, I think he deserved the yellow card. He had the trailing leg as well. After the initial tackle, he left his boot up high. And the second Peruvian player to be yellow carded.
Only winning his 8th cap tonight, by the way, De La Arza. So relatively new into the side. Bazalar looking to play it long towards Pizarro. Nothing doing again there. Very few alarms for Ayala and Melito, barring that little error earlier on, which allowed Guerrero in. Lovely football. Cambiasso. Oh, and it was really on for Argentina there.
Yeah, Cambiasso's delivery was poor after getting into a very good forward position, a favourable position. His final touch let him down on that occasion, and that's not usual for Cambiasso.
Marino got dispossessed in midfield. Made back by Diego Melito to Zanetti. Now it's Veron. Esteban Cambiasso out to Lionel Messi. He's frightened defenders half to death every time they see him with the ball.
Exactly.
He's got a knock to the face now, Messi.
Yeah. Very sporting play by Peru there. When they saw he had the knock, he knocked it out. He got a slap in the face, but from Galiquio, but it wasn't a malicious one.
I must say there's been a marked absence of the cynicism and sometimes brutality we've seen sometimes in South American football in the past. They put in a rattling good effort, most of these teams here. The entertainment's been great. There have been lots of goals, and you'd hope that mood might spread to other big international tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to say I've been impressed with the attitude and the sporting behaviour in most games. And the refereeing too has been of a high standard.
There's been a collective will, I think, to put on a bit of a show here. They want to reinvigorate this tournament, I think.
Yeah, well, they're certainly doing that because it's impressive. All aspects of it. You know, the stadia look to be good. They're well filled, excellent attendances, and the playing surface is superb. I don't think there's any deficiencies in the tournament at all. 7 improved stadia and 2 new ones over in Venezuela.
Yeah, of course, there's been the odd bad game, but you're going to get that. But most of them have been very enjoyable to watch, including these quarterfinals so far. This is a good effort so far from Peru. Balazar, Cassiete heads it forward, hiked away. Riquelme. Guerrero, with his Christian name, you'll notice, written on his shirt. Paulo, it says, on the back.
Paulo, yeah. We know as Guerrero. It doesn't say Paulo when he plays for Hamburg.
Can't see it catching on, can you, in British football, that? Ain't now the number 2 left back at Manchester United, behind Evra, so it would seem. Talk of Ainsley moving to Liverpool. You'll have read that in the newspapers. See what happens, as always. Here's Galiquio. Determined run, and he's going to get a free kick, I fancy, for that.
Yeah, I think so, and he's wondering why it's not a yellow card, I think.
For Mascherano, in fact. Just made a back for him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah. And Heinze was there as well.
You'd need a vivid imagination to say that was a challenge for the ball, wouldn't you? But
You would.
upset the apple cart if Peru were to sneak ahead in this quarter-final.
And this is the most likely method, from a set piece, corner kick, free kick.
Pizarro hovering around, straight into the wall. Does the referee want this retaken? What has he decided here? He's got to play it down. That's what he's decided. He needs some treatment.
Yeah, the brave man in the wall, Cambiasso.
Did his job though, didn't he?
He did his job. That's excellent. That's what the coach wants. You want the wall to stand solidly there, and he certainly did that. And Cambiasso took the impact of the ball.
Well, the semi-finals start on Tuesday with Uruguay against Brazil. That's 1:30 a.m. on Tuesday night. So wait up till after midnight to catch that one live. The Brazilians at last getting into the mood with 6 goals in their last game. And Uruguay hit 4 as well. Could be good.
Could be. Yeah, I think that'll be a great game. Brazil, as usual, improving as the tournament progresses. They often start slowly and, improve.
The other semi, which will feature the winners of this one against Mexico, will be a day later. It's Wednesday night. Vilches helping it forward. Guerrero. It's a touch by Ayala. We'll get another interruption here. Are Argentina just a tad complacent here in their approach to this?
I think you're right, I think it looks like it. They've come into this match as, great favourites. But apart from the one shot which was deflected onto the post, they haven't really threatened the Peruvian goal, and that's disappointing. We've had some nice interpassing, we've had some effective play. Now that's a tackle.
Mascherano. Now that's a worrying sight for Liverpool fans and Rafa Benitez.
The whole weight of his body went below that ankle there. It's pleasing to see him on his feet.
Yeah, that looked horrible, didn't it?
It did.
That could have been the ligaments going, couldn't it?
Yep. Not much protection from the footwear these days.
Well, he's walking off towards the sidelines where he has to go, of course, having received treatment. Look at those, look at the fans there. They're loving it, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a carnival atmosphere here.
Great to see, brilliant. But Peru might be the happier of the two sides so far.
I would think so. I would imagine that Argentina would feel that by this time they would have been ahead. But I think they can be assured that they've never been threatened defensively, really. But you just wonder, maybe a free kick in the edge of the box or a corner kick with some imagination, and the Peruvians could sneak a goal.
Maybe Argentina will just end up passing them to death. Possible.
Possibly.
Do that to anybody.
They have to get possession first.
Yeah. Just a little frustrated, though. So far, the tournament favourites here.
Yeah, they haven't played with their customary assurance in this match.
Gabriel Ainse. We know that's the pronunciation because his wife told us when he arrived.
I think I would be reprimanded then for my initial pronunciation. I was saying calling him Heinze, but...
Came to the press room at Bolton and told everybody. It was very nice of her.
Indeed.
I think we're all going to say Heinz like the 57 varieties or something. dispossessed. Very hard-working performance by Peru.
Yeah, very disciplined as well. You can see they pull everyone back. They leave one up, and you know, they get 5 at the back when required. Then very often it looks like a 5-4-1 formation they have. There's the wide players on either side. They drop back in.
Offer them a penalty shootout. They'd bite your hand off right now, Peru, of course. Argentina will remember they went out of the World Cup on penalties. Dodgy from Zanetti, turning into trouble, but he's got quick feet, got away with it in the end. Leave it to me, says Riquelme, as usual.
Exactly. Well, Lara knows the better player in possession, and quite correctly left it to the more confident, the passer, Riquelme.
Just thinking, Messi's still only 20. You wonder what the future holds for him, don't you?
Exactly. Well, the Barcelona fans have a treat in store for seasons to come with Messi, because he'll improve. He's the kind of player you can see that although he's excellent at the moment, there is room for improvement, and when he gains added experience, he'll know when to pass and when to dribble. At the moment, I think he dribbles perhaps too often, and he's predictable.
Might make the odd goal for Thierry Henry, mightn't he?
He might just do that.
Vilches. Peruvians can't keep possession of the ball, but not much threat in the last 10-15 minutes from Argentina. How significant is that, we wonder? Are they just going through a flat spell? Lull before the storm and all that? We'll see. Mascherano. Now Javier Zanetti. Great run from Zanetti. Blocked off in the end, Cassiete.
Cassiete did well there. Zanetti ran right into him, actually. You know, when he got into the danger area, he looked like a defender in the forward position.
Julio Cesar Uribe, who was known as the Black Diamond when he was a player, played in the 1982 World Cup in Spain for Peru. Came into the job last year, first big tournament for him as the manager. Here he is again, Messi, in towards Diego Milito, who tried to turn quite neatly, but again, there was a white shirt there. Cambiaso. I was about to say he's got a lovely left foot, but of course it chose that very moment to lump the ball into touch.
Yeah, usually their weight of pass is excellent, but that was quite uncharacteristic there. You know, when you give a nicely weighted pass, the receiving player doesn't have to control it. He can make up his mind to do something without, first of all, having to control the ball. And I think of all the countries, the way you can see there just now makes it easy. Look at this, an underweighted pass very often, easy for the receiving player. And the best of all in Argentina over the years of that was the master, Jose Ardiles, with the underweighted pass.
Start of the 1978 World Cup win, and Argentina were at home, of course. And all the pitches seem to be covered in that confetti for the entire tournament, strangely, but quite atmospherically as well. Now then, what do Argentina come up with here on the verge of half-time? It's a key moment here for Peru to make sure that nothing untoward happens to them here. Riquelme's got other ideas. Bends one in, it's well defended again. Again, it was a Cassiete who got his head to the ball, and there's going to be 3 minutes of added time. I thought for a moment, oh, is it 2? Couldn't really see the electronic scoreboard. I thought it's at 8 for a minute.
No, well, I think I'm surprised there's only 2 because there have been quite a number of stoppages. And the ball has been played out of play several times to allow treatment to take place, and I do think that's a small amount of stoppage time.
Guerrero goes to ground, beats the turf in frustration as the referee doesn't give him a free kick, but it didn't really look like one. Mascherano. Now Veron. Hainsey. Recalme. At the moment, all the avenues forward are cul-de-sacs for Argentina.
Yeah, they are, and quite difficult at this juncture in the game to list a series of chances for either side because there haven't been. And you know, one main chance, I think, the deflection onto the post for Argentina, but that's the major opportunity. Neither goalkeeper's been called upon to make much of a save.
I think there might just be a few words along the lines of just shaking Argentina a little bit out of their lethargy from the coach in the second half. He'll want a little more goal threat than they're producing at the moment.
Absolutely, you know, I think he threatens them and says if you don't step up the tempo and get the pace raised, we'll be replacing you. And players don't like to be replaced, and they may well respond to that, the threat of some fresh legs.
You know, Aymar, Tevez,
I was just going to say Aymar and Tevez, 2 classic possibilities.
So, frustration for Argentina. Surprisingly here, Peru organised and very disciplined, goalless at half-time. Argentina not as impressive as we've seen them in earlier matches so far. Give a lot of credit to Peru, as the guys were doing in the studio at half-time, but can they do it for another 45 minutes, or will the effort start to tell on their legs in the last 20 minutes? You often see that in this kind of a match. Tevez has come on for Argentina, and Milito, as we thought, Diego Milito has gone off. So that is a predictable change. The officials, by the way, have been out on the pitch for about 7 minutes waiting for the teams. That seems to be what we get every game here. Last we're underway. I'm not sure what the Argentinians think about Brazilian officials, big rivals and all that. Doing a great job.
Yeah, you made a very good point there, Ian. I've noticed every match the 3 officials come out ahead of the teams, and they stood there for a long time. I think it's disrespectful to keep them waiting as long as that, but there must be some reason for it. But it beats me why in every game the officials come out and wait for 5, 6, 7, in this occasion 7 minutes before the teams appear.
Well, Tevez is going to set that defence some new problems, that's for certain. And of course Manchester United fans will be agog to see how he plays. Does look like that deal is going to go through when they've got everything sorted out. 1 or 2 little rows going on around the move, as you'll have gathered.
You know, well, as they say, he's got nothing to prove. We know his capability. What we want to see is consistency from him in his play. And if he goes to Manchester, he'll be in a stage which is tailor-made for success, and he'll be under the top manager who will make sure that he does all the right things.
Tevez's clever little flick. Here he is, injecting that bit of pace straight away, and Argentina take the lead, and it's Recalme again. A wonderful strike with his left foot. The breakthrough arrives within 90 seconds of the restart. Tevez much involved in the move, but it was Recalme with the decisive finish.
Yeah, that's what you call an impact substitution. You bring on Tevez, and within 90 seconds he has created the opening goal. A wonderful strike, of course, from Recalme with that left foot of his. 22 yards out, brilliant shot, unstoppable, right across the goalkeeper, but a great play by Tevez, introduced at half-time.
3rd goal of the tournament already for Recalme. Emphatic the finish. Just what Argentina wanted. And that little bit of extra pep and pace that Tevez has given the attack pays immediate dividends.
Yeah, goalkeeper Buffon has had a good game, and you know, he was, I don't think any goalkeeper could have stopped that one. He was well beaten for that beautiful strike. It's the kind of thing you do in training, edge of the box, lay it sideways and drive it in, and so seldom you get the opportunity in the match.
Just a bit too far ahead of Messi, who's come out to the left-hand side now. For the moment, Tevez maybe operating a bit more towards the right.
Yes, he is, and you can be sure that throughout the second period they'll change.
I think Tevez has got a point to prove. He wants to be in the starting lineup for the semi-final, and he hopes final as well.
Well, I think Nolito from Real Zaragoza did not inspire in the first period.
Mourinho with a good little chip through, but the offside flag is up. But that was a good move by Peru there.
Yeah, but good defending as well. Heinz, he stepped out against the ball, which is risky, but he did it effectively, and two players, not one, two offside. What a great goal that is. That's just perfection. You know, we had the other night Mascherano scoring from the other side of the D, just outside the box with his right. He passed it crisply in. That was more driven, that one, but a great finish.
2 against Colombia, 1 tonight in the quarter-final for Juan Roman Riquelme, who's apparently a very laid-back character off the pitch, doesn't believe in too many trimmings for all his wealth. Now with Boca Juniors on loan, having moved on from Villarreal, where he did such a great job in Spain, helping to make them a bit of a force.
Yeah, the scorer. I was just sorry, I beg your pardon. I was going to say the scorer at Villarreal often was Forlan, but the goals were created by Riquelme.
Galicchio is Messi's latest run there, just blocked off.
Yep. Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, we saw Forlan 2 goals last night, Riquelme a great goal tonight. You know, the two used to work together, and you know, goal scoring is second nature to them.
Zanetti, terrific run from the back from him. Oh, and Tevez has hit the bar with his header. Wonderful move from Argentina. Zanetti's run was just terrific.
Fantastic play down the right there, and great delivery from Zanetti. You know, we did get Tevez leaping high. He actually surprised me. He got up onto the ball, just didn't get enough height to deliver the ball under the crossbar, but he fired it against the bar. Again, that was a ball tailor-made for Crespo, but good credit. That's a fine shot back in the net from a different view, different angle behind the goal. It still looks a fantastic goal from Riquelme, but that could have been another one for Tevez. And I keep thinking again, it was a cross designed for the missing Crespo.
They're in a nice position now. Argentina, is so hard to get the ball off them.
Yeah, when they're in control, they're very impressive.
There's Riquelme looking to play on a broad canvas, looking to pick out Tevez all the time. Looked like he went out of play. He did indeed.
Yeah, it was clever footwork. There's the great cross in, and oh, a good header. But he just got the top of the head. He couldn't get high enough to deliver it downwards. But excellent play.
33rd cap, by the way, it is for Tevez tonight. He's still only 23 years of age. That would have been his 8th goal. He's stuck on 7 still for his country.
Yeah, quite a remarkable number of caps for one so young. 33 caps with the best part of his career still to come. he may soon have as many as your studio guests there, or one of them I know, 77 caps. Third most capped Scottish player, Alec.
He'll be very proud you remember that.
Oh, I know that. I won't ask him how many goals he scored though.
I'll ask you later.
And up for every corner kick, Ian.
Here's Cambiasso for Argentina. To Mascherano. This could get hard work for Peru now. They daren't get too gung-ho in chasing the equaliser because there'll be gaps left behind, and Argentina have the capability to rip them limb from limb.
Yeah, that's true, but I think, you know, if it stays like this towards the end, they'll have to take a chance. There's no point in losing without a fight and without putting perhaps another guy forward. But at the moment, it's sensible just to stay compact, keep their shape, and hope that they may get something in a breakaway or in a set piece.
Mascherano to Veron, clever ball, Riquelme, working little triangles. So much composure. And this time the left foot shot fizzes over from Lionel Messi.
Yeah, the golden boots didn't do the trick there. He's leaning back on that one. Ball just bobbled slightly for him and over the top. So the multiple ball system is overused there.
And Guerrero is struggling here. I wonder if he's going to have to come off here.
Looks like it.
I think that's it for the night for Paulo Guerrero from Hamburg, and he's going to be replaced by Pedro Garcia from Universidad, who was sent off against Venezuela in the tournament, served a ban in the last game. He's back, he's okay for this one.
Yeah, good player, experienced guy, 33 years of age, and you know, he came into the international scene kind of late, so I don't think he's got more than maybe 15 or 16 appearances.
His 15th cap, to be exact. He was pretty prolific in his club side's title win this year, Garcia. Zanetti looking to pick up the return ball. It didn't quite work, but he looks so sprightly still, Javier Zanetti. You wouldn't think he'd been around this long. He's foraging forward from the back, ended up in the centre forward position there. Unthinkable, really, that they left him out of the World Cup squad last year.
Incredible. And I've got to say that he took it with a minimum of complaint. There wasn't any indication of public resentment at being left out.
And of course Riquelme was going to give up international football, wasn't he? He was talked round by Alfio Basile, and I think you've seen the result of that already in this tournament. I think he's enjoying himself. Goals arriving as well, including the decisive one so far.
Yep, good credit to the coach, Basile, for getting him back into the action.
Here's Acasiete. Plays in Spain for Almeria. Veron measures it precise for Messi, but it's good battling away by Galicchio in the right back position.
Yeah, he's done well, Galicchio. You know, he's a tough guy, and he's perverting up the side on occasion as well.
Here's Basilar, who's 39 years of age, by the way. He won his first cap 18 years ago, but this is his first tournament. Good going.
Yeah, 39. And I think he's only got 23 or 4 caps.
Yeah, they've been sporadic.
Heinze did well there.
Rogers plays it forward, but Mascherano got an important foot in. Veron takes it over. Now Esteban Cambiasso to Lionel Messi. Argentina leading by Juan Roman Riquelme's excellent left foot finish just after half time.
The interchanging in midfield, Cambiasso not always wide left, he's moving freely. Of course, this man in possession, the playmaker supreme, Riquelme.
Well, he literally is running the game in there, isn't he?
Absolutely. Well, it's a masterclass in midfield play because every pass has been perfection. His defensive work too, he gets back behind the ball when required, and that's a free kick quite clearly. But you know, and the goal, the icing on the cake, the goal was absolutely superb.
Taken quickly by Riquelme and played in towards Cambiasso.
That was a really clever free kick. That, you know, no one expected to be taken quite so quickly. Riquelme obviously all his wits about him, very, very creative player. He took a quick free kick which could have resulted in a goal for Argentina.
Side this time. But Argentina on course for a semi-final meeting against Mexico. Tight one. Of course, those two sides met, didn't they, in a good game at the World Cup last summer. Argentina just going through there. Some people thought the Mexicans were a bit unlucky.
They were, I think, yeah. But Argentina squeezed through. So a chance for revenge for Mexico.
Took a bit of a deflection on the way through. Hammered across, and here's a chance. Well, Garcia was in there. Now Vilches. Good little squall of pressure this from Peru.
Absolutely, that was a good chance, blocked by Heinz. Great defending actually. He spread himself and blocked the shot, which looked as though it was on target.
Just for a moment, Argentina were discomfited.
And said that, there were very few shots on target in the first half, we noticed. You know, it's perhaps the least shots in any game so far.
Heinze to Cambiasso, who's just picked up a Serie A title with Inter. Of course, officially they've won the title in Italy for the last couple of years after the scandal last summer which handed them the title. Now then, Messi. There's a real buzz of expectation and excitement every time he gets the ball.
Yeah, I think he overcooked it there. He should have released the ball much earlier. That's the major fault in his play. He always wants to dribble, and I think he'd be a better team player if he passed it earlier on occasion.
Riquelme again. Oh, it's a fantastic ball through Messi. They've done it. Argentina, wonderful play. Beautiful move, all set up again by Riquelme's beautifully weighted, astute pass.
Absolutely, I've been commenting all along about the weight of the Argentinian pass. The direction's invariably good, but the weight is absolutely superb on every occasion. Now that one there was tremendous. Great through pass from Riquelme and an excellent finish. Look at the weight of that pass. He's onside and played onside. No question about that by Vilata. And there's the great pass. And here's the sublime finish through the goalkeeper's leg. Calmly executed. Terrific. Messi.
First goal of the tournament, his fifth in the blue and white stripes of Argentina. And his performance has deserved it as well. But really, to be honest with you, Riquelme's performance in midfield is little short of breathtaking, really.
Yeah, I just can't believe that Peru don't get a man closely on him. You know, if you're fighting the Indians, you kill the chief. Now, quite clearly, when you play, you've got a number of chiefs, obviously, Argentina, but the main man, the playmaking man, has confirmed it tonight, and that's Riquelme, and yet he's never at one time in the match been closely marked. He's got all the space in the world, and that astonishes me. And even if you don't man mark him, you close the space. You get the back players up, and you close up the middle ones, and there's no space for him to exert his tremendous authority in the game.
Yeah, I seem to remember when Arsenal played Villarreal in that Champions League semi-final, they managed to marginalise him to some extent.
Yep, and so did Alec McLeish with the Rangers side. You know, he was very good, but he wasn't as outstanding as he is this evening because they took care of him.
Look at that, though. Look at that, Craig. It's a great goal.
We just have to enthuse. You know, we run out of superlatives when you're talking about some of the Argentinian play. Now, here's the left-footed player. I wonder whether it was deliberate through the legs. I don't think so. I think he just decided to side-foot it goalwards, but a fine finish.
So Zuniga is going to come on here, and the defender is coming off Villamarin. So slightly more attacking option for Peru with Zuniga on. Israel Zuniga.
Well, you know what that could result in. You know what could happen if we go too desperately to try and get something back. They could open the gates behind, and that's a major risk against a team of this calibre. The Argentinians, with their tails up, could go for goals.
Not another 6, surely.
Well, you never know.
This seems to be the theme of the quarter-finals here, but it's only 2 so far, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Pizarro in towards Garcia.
Yeah, the whole tournament's been full of great goals.
This is Zuniga, blocked out of it by Zanetti. He's had a wonderful game for Argentina tonight. It's his 109th cap. Been with Inter for 11 years.
Yeah, you said he had a wonderful game. Quite right. I would add one word to that. Another wonderful game, because every game he plays, the consistency of this guy is quite exceptional, both for club and for country. And to be left out of the World Cup squad, you know, the biggest belief.
He scored that cracking goal, didn't he, against England in Saint Etienne from that free kick routine.
Yeah, we're very upset about that.
Yeah. I'd keep quiet on that subject if I were you.
Okay.
It's Kilikio.
You know, I'm not one of those guys that wants to see England lose matches. You know, I like to see all the British sides do well, and you know, many of our guys earn a living in England, and it's a great footballing country, so we're not. I'm joking here.
Since you'll be at Derby County next season.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
With 3 Scottish international players in the group.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Here's Veron, looking to play the 1-2. They get the free kick here. Argentina, who are now sitting pretty. It was a frustrating first half for them, but it's quickly been rectified since the break.
Yeah, quality usually wins matches, but they need to have an attitude as well. And I didn't feel their attitude was top class in the first half. They were just out there to play, but I'm sure they got a bit of a talking to at half time, because the change in tempo was quite noticeable.
Mascherano and Riquelme. Easy on the eye is the phrase that comes to mind.
Yeah, everything's fluent, everything's comfortable, and the passing and the weight of the pass we keep commenting on. There's never an overweighted pass. The receiving player has the easiest job in world football if he's playing for Argentina. no country, in my experience, passes the ball with such precision and with such terrific weight.
Ainsley battling away. Looks like it's almost certainly going to be Argentina against Mexico. But they picked a squad that shouted out, "We mean business," for this tournament, and they have meant business as well.
Yeah, great respect to the tournament. You know, 1 or 2 missing from Brazil, and of course the Americans brought virtually a reserve side, and they did not, in my opinion, having won the Gold Cup, they made 16 changes, and that didn't show respect to the tournament. And there are noises, I think, that they may not be invited back. And, you know, these noises can be justified, because here we have Argentina with all their players, all their big names, taking the thing seriously, and that's great. But you know, 1 or 2 injuries with Brazil, and Kaká rested, he's not there.
And Ronaldinho, of course.
Ronaldinho, that's right.
There's an injury to Lucio, the defender, as well. Zuniga trying to give Peru a bit of width out on the left-hand side, see if they can stretch Argentina a little. Pizarro plays it to Galicchio on this side. Even as the host nation, Peru could only reach the quarter-final, as that was 3 years ago. There are 3 clubs in the Copa Libertadores this year, all fell at the first hurdle, so they really could do with making an impact sometime soon again. As we were saying at the beginning, haven't made the World Cup final since '82, a long time ago. Spain, wasn't it, then?
That's right, and of course a little bit embarrassing in '78 when they played Scotland, and Scotland was expected to win comfortably, but that didn't happen.
Cubillas, who got 5 goals in the tournament, as he did, by the way, in the 1970 tournament as well. Cubillas. I remember, was it Chumpitas and Gallardo, those players? Yeah, good team they had then.
Yeah,
top their group.
Very good team.
Here's Pizarro with this team. Marinho. Bazalar sitting deep. They're trying to save his legs, the 39-year-old, in that midfield. Here he is on the ball now. Not many people go on to 39 in international football teams.
No, they don't, and he's playing well at 39.
Not in club teams even.
No, exactly.
Although Teddy Sheringham goes on and on, doesn't he? He's gone to Colchester.
So Stanley Matthews, I think it's a classic example. I think he went on forever.
They played at 50 in the top flight.
Yep.
Well, Veron getting a standing ovation as he comes off. See the Argentina fans back in love with him.
Yeah, he's done well in this tournament. It's a different Veron from the one we saw in the Premiership.
And on comes holding midfield player Gargo, who played in the last game. Comes on to win his 6th cap. Real Madrid player.
Yeah, played well in the last game.
Only made his debut for Argentina in February against France. Graduate from the Argentina under-20 side. Here's Zuniga. Bazalar spreading it left. Argentina having a little more defending to do, though. 2-0. Peru know they need something, and, well, quite quickly, in fact. Here's the break. This is the danger. How quickly can they develop it? Now it's gone out of play.
Difficult ball down the line there, and also a very difficult one for the striker to receive.
welcome to the game.
Exactly, yeah. I'll have a tug at your jersey just to make sure.
So Gargo, the recently introduced substitute, he's on the ball now.
Yeah, he's an elegant player.
Only 21 as well.
Not an elegant pass on that occasion, no.
Riquelme to Mascherano. Gargo. They've got plenty of cover around this squad as well. If anyone gets injured or suspended, you can't imagine that it would upset the rhythm too badly, unless that player was Riquelme. Might make a bit of a change, but quality wherever you look. I mean, do you agree? A lot of people say that this team, they should have won the World Cup last year if they'd used the talent they had correctly. The coach came under a lot of stick, didn't he?
Yes.
Bakeman afterwards and resigned.
I think when you look at the personnel they had, they should have done a bit better. Possibly they should have won the World Cup. You know, you think man for man, they're arguably better than the Italians.
Marino's coming off here for Peru, and they're going to bring on Mendoza, who plays for Metropolitano Donetsk. That's the other team in the Ukrainian town, not Shakhtar, who we've seen in the Champions League a few times. Won a title and 2 cups during his time in Belgium. Played for Bruges, Mendoza. Usually plays up front. Riquelme back on the ball again. Cambiasso was the player who just nicked it off Peru at a vital area. Good little ball around the corner by Messi to Tevez. Back to Messi again. Fantastic save, but to no avail. It is 3-0 now, and Mascherano scores for the second game running.
But it was wonderful play by the two small guys, Messi and Tevez. Great interpassing on the edge of the box. The shot was saved, it rebounded, and who was there? Mascherano scored a great goal from the edge of the box the other night, and another fine goal from close range this evening. So, supporting midfield play at its best.
Well, he'd never scored for Argentina until the other night. Now 2 in 2 games. Great save by the goalie, hard luck on him.
Yep. Tevez into Messi. Strike for goal, defends all at sea, completely spread eagled by that blistering attack, and a fine finish.
The old slow, quick, slow. Got you again.
Fantastic, you know, it's a treat to watch. Now the scoreline reflects the terrific superiority that Argentina have had in the second half, although in the first half it was fairly even, we've got to admit.
Galicchio is the player going off on the stretcher. Whether he can return, we'll see in just a moment. Look doubtful. Home and hose, as they say in horse racing now. Messi shot block. Mascherano doesn't usually get into the penalty area, does he?
That's what I said. It was he was supporting from midfield, and enthusiastic, sensible support there. When the shot was saved, I wouldn't fault keeper Butrón at all. He did all he could, and unfortunately palmed it straight into the path of the oncoming Mascherano.
3 goals in half an hour from Argentina since the break. Takes their tally to 12 for the tournament. This is their 4th match so far. Only when they played the weakened side did they just get the 1 goal against Paraguay when they'd already qualified. So there's something slightly unreal about that one. Won every game so far. They're going to win this one as well, barring something absolutely sensational happening. De La Haza. Again. He is 34 years of age now as well, Zanetti. We're going to make another change here. Giddy way the coach, but few gaps appearing now. It's Messi once more. Tried to line one up for Tevez. They got the block in Peru. Riquelme. It's becoming a bit like water torture for them at the moment.
Well, he's touching right defence with these outside of the foot passes. Every time he's in possession, he creates something, and it's still absolutely astonishing that they haven't closed on him. They haven't even man-marked him. Just giving him the freedom of the stadium.
And have paid the price in the second half. Taking that approach to it. Must have thought about man-marking him. There he is again towards the back post this time. Tom, the goalkeeper, can just pluck it out of the air.
Yeah, good goalkeeping on that occasion. The ball was too close. The cross right into his hands. It shouldn't have presented him with any ball. He's certainly confident enough to catch it.
Esteban Cambiasso to Juan Roman Riquelme.
The ball's just rolling gently from player to player. Look at that. Fantastic. No pace in the ball at all. Just enough to get there. Give the player receiving it like that the opportunity. As we've seen there, just to turn on the ball and play it as he wishes.
And they can't get near them,
no.
Peru. Not much, I don't think, that Julio Cesar Uribe can do about this in this situation. It's probably a damage limitation job for Peru now.
Yeah, they're just totally completely outplayed.
They're just making it look all so ridiculously easy. Around the corner from Cambiasso, Peru do get a rare touch of the ball. And there's a player needing treatment. That's why it's been hammered out. Cambiasso there.
Yeah, there's a clever ball on the corner.
He's recovered from his little knock that required a stretcher a moment or two back. Cambiasso remains on the floor. Now don't forget, on Tuesday night, the first of the semi-finals, Uruguay against Brazil. That's at 1:30 a.m. for the night owls among you. Live action, well worth catching. Should be a good game, that. Uruguay, Brazil, and then of course the other one, well, pretty certainly will be Argentina up against Mexico, who went through with a 6-goal performance earlier on.
Yeah, that'll boost their morale and make it a match that everyone will want to see, because the favourites here, Argentina against the team in form, 6-goal team, Mexico, they will bring quite a big support. As always, the Mexicans, you take it for granted that Argentina will be well supported, but Mexico always have a big travelling support.
Coming off the outside of the boot. Great atmosphere, I think, and spirit among this Argentine side. You saw the other night when the goal went in, all the players on the bench were joining in the celebration. You just have a feeling that it's going to take something pretty special to stop them.
Yeah, team spirit very, very important to them, and we saw it. And Evans is right when they scored. First goal here today, great excitement when they scored, terrific response to Riquelme's goal.
free kick here. There's a bit of a scandal in Peru. Apparently the tabloids rather like their back page scandals there. And the coach ended up getting fined 30% of his fee for the month for denying that he'd been in a nightclub after a game.
The coach?
The coach.
Yeah, right.
I guess some of the players were involved as well. Anyway, Cambiaso's off. Pablo Aimar is on, another of those little Argentine magicians. Quite some player to have coming off the bench. Aimar.
Yeah, fantastic player too.
Here's Tevez. Aimar's first involvement. Gargo. It's almost like a training ground routine at times here.
Yeah.
Mascherano. How many passes is this so far?
I don't know, we lost count. Still possession. Can add, keep adding.
Well, they're making it look a beautiful game indeed, the way they're playing it.
Just a bit over elaborate there at the edge of the box. You know, there was opportunity for a shot and it wasn't taken. The extra pass enabled Peru to intercept it and get the ball out of danger. Temporarily, I suspect.
It's almost like it's just passing for fun, isn't it? Something they can afford to do at 3-0. 6 minutes to go. The time Peru scored against Bolivia, a vital goal to keep them in the tournament. But it's going to take more than one to rescue things for them now as Garcia goes down.
Yeah, Gago the culprit there.
Now we're going to try to plonk this onto Pizarro's head if they can. He scored 2 headers in the last game against Bolivia. Goalkeeper there, Abondancieri, getting in a bit of a pickle. His goal was left empty. Tevez, meanwhile, at the other end. He's still going. There's surely a chance here for Riquelme again. And it's now 4-0. And 4-2 in the tournament for Riquelme. Again, Peru were carved open, this time in an Argentine break.
Yeah, terrific. An unselfish play from Tevez. Having won the ball just over the halfway line, he took on one defender, 2 defenders, was clear on his own, but there was a great supporting run on the left from Riquelme and from Messi. He played the ball across to Riquelme, who finished superbly well. It was excellent play, and either Riquelme or Messi could have finished that, but the unselfishness of Tevez is to be commended.
Well, it was English sailors who introduced the game of football to Argentina, but I bet they didn't play it like this.
No, the Argentinian performance tonight has been exceptional. That, you know, the icing on the cake, that goal just typified the quality of their play. And of course, Tevez has been involved in at least 3 of the 4 goals, so that's what you call an impact sub. And the manager, Alfredo Basile, must be feeling very pleased with himself.
Should he have picked him in the first place?
Well, that's what they've always saying. He should have never had to come on. He should have been on from the start. That's the risk. But you know, you want a guy who can go on and change the game if required. Well, it was required because nothing at half-time wasn't good enough, and he went on and he changed it. Okay.
Alicchio to Vilches, who's hit trouble. Mascherano having a fine tournament. It's funny the way things have changed around for him in 2007. He was in the wilderness a bit at West Ham, off to Liverpool, played in the Champions League final for them, and here he is starring again for Argentina.
Well, a significant feature of the Argentinian play has been the support play from midfield. Mascherano getting a goal from inside the 6 yards box, and then the other midfield player, Riquelme, getting a goal because of a very good supporting run, indicates that they are encouraged to support the front early and get forward quickly from midfield. With the two central midfield players scoring is a credit to the system coaches put in place and to the unselfishness of the front players.
Gabriel Milito and Roberto Ayala haven't seen too much of those in this game. There hasn't been an awful lot for them to do. Zuniga trying to make something happen for Peru. Garcia managed to keep it in play, but Ainse was there. He loves playing for his country, as Gabriel Ainse even played, of course, when they won the Olympic gold medal in Athens. I don't think Sir Alex was too happy about him taking part in that tournament, but hey, he's got an Olympic gold medal to show his kids, isn't he?
Yeah, and the Olympic football tournament is a big tournament. There's no doubt about that. We don't compete in the UK for political reasons of nationalism, of course, but it's a huge tournament and probably second biggest football tournament in the world.
There's always the danger of Pizarro with headers, but no real threat there, and far more of a threat is going to be Argentina on the counter, as they've proved already. Aymar on the ball now. Cassiete, who's kept himself out of trouble at the back after being booked in the first minute, was the player who stopped the danger. It's going to be another exit at the quarter-final stage for Peru, which seems to be the story of their life in this tournament. They've won it twice, 1939 and 1975. 32 years ago, their last win. Now then, kept in play by Tevez. He wouldn't mind one, would he?
No, he was shaping up for one there. Just, I think he overran it. That was a case of selfishness there, because I was commenting on them being unselfish, but I think he should have played it into feet. He just took it too far himself. Desperate to score, it would appear.
Stoppage time, and there'll be 3 minutes of it.
Yeah, that was a great 1-2 there. And the instruction stopped a very promising Argentinian move.
These quarterfinals have been absolute thrashings, haven't they? Brazil 6 goals, Uruguay 4, Mexico 6, Argentina. All the losers have been well, taken apart, really, eventually anyway.
Yeah, you wonder why the reason for that. I just can't pinpoint it.
Maybe just a gap between the better sides and the rest.
I think so. That can be the only explanation.
Which means the semi-finals should be compulsive viewing.
Yep.
Tevez setting up Riquelme for number 4.
That was a pass into the net again. That's the trademark finish from Argentina. Not a shot, but a pass into the net.
Messi's speed, and then Tevez. Aymar was making a break ahead of the strikers. There still might be something. Here he is again, Riquelme. He's on a hat-trick, remember. Carlos Tevez. Well, I think anyone who loves football will have enjoyed watching the way Argentina have played in this second half. Not so much the first half when they went a bit flat, but here it's great, really.
Yeah, it's a masterclass. They've won all 4 matches with a great deal of aplomb. They've played with style, with panache, and a real masterclass in international football.
If it does get to a Brazil-Argentina final, your point Will Brazil man Mark Riquelme snuff him out?
Well, the problem is, you know, they can't man mark them all, but I think he is the main man, and I would be tempted to man mark him. He's closing him anyway, not give him the space he's had this evening.
He's playing with a magnet in his boots. It keeps coming to him, doesn't it?
It does.
That's it. It's all over. Peru are put out of their misery. Argentina in the second half really turned it on. 2 goals from Juan Roman Riquelme, one from Javier Mascherano of Liverpool, another from Lionel Messi of Barcelona, and Peru really had absolutely no answer. Argentina were big favourites to go through. That's exactly what they've done. They're on course for a semi-final meeting with Mexico. The fireworks go off, and they go off for Argentina, who've won handsomely again here, playing some gorgeous, sumptuous football in the second half. They win by 4 goals to 0.